You are listening to the Real Estate Growth Hackers Show.
All right, welcome to the Real Estate Growth Hackers live show. My name is Zach Hammer. Today for you, I have Carlos Redlich. And Carlos is a highly sought after direct response copywriter and marketing consultant. He's worked with all levels of entrepreneurs from six-figure startups to nine-figure mammoths. As he travels the world and learns about new cultures, Carlos's primary mission is to deliver as much value as possible to his fellow marketers and copywriters, and today, real estate agents. So in an authentic and straightforward manner. So today on the show, Carlos has already told me some of what he wants to talk about, some of what he's got for us. I'm really excited about this. So I'm gonna let you know what we've got planned for you. So we've got we're going to potentially talk about how to lower your ad costs with good copy. We're going to talk about how to get your leads to book calls with you via email. And we're going to talk about Carlos's 5-step formula for writing Facebook ads that convert. So let's bring Carlos on. I'm excited to have him, and let's get in and dive into the topic. Carlos, welcome back.
Hey, what's happening, man? Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, you got it. And so yeah, Carlos. So one of the things that I always like to talk about, because I think, somebody coming in new, they don't know who you are. I want to make sure that they have the context to know exactly who you are and why we should be listening, all that kind of stuff. So Carlos, what exactly do you do? Like, what's your day-to-day job, life, business? What does that look like?
So, well, right now it's actually a kind of transition. So I used to take on a lot of copywriting clients. I used to own a couple martial art gyms that were brick and mortar, but I was paying like 10 grand in rent. So if anybody pay rent, I feel your pain, man. I feel your but sold those off, ended up going fully online, started writing copy for different clients for now recently starting this stuff for loan officers, real estate agents. So it's kind of funny I'm on the show. But I'm actually also transitioning into selling my own stuff. So I actually sell a lot to the martial art niche. I've got one of the biggest martial art groups and pages called the I Love Jeet Kune Do. So biggest in that niche, right?
Okay, cool.
And it's pretty cool. We've actually built into a pretty big following, and it's turning into a real business. So transitioning out of some copy clients and turning into just selling my own stuff. So the reason you should me is I actually apply this stuff. I don't just read it in a book.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of people that I love to bring on the show. Like I could care less if somebody is very specifically like real estate focused. I care a whole lot more. Are they actually applying principles that is the stuff that we're about to talk about battle tested, that kind of thing? And that's part of why I was excited to bring you on, because I know you actually use this. You actually do this in the real world. So exciting stuff. So okay. So you talked a bit about your past. You talked a bit about where you are. So let's go ahead and let's dive into some of this content. Okay, how's that sound?
Absolutely.
So one of the things that you mentioned that we could talk about how real estate agents can lower their ad costs. And again, this is just to give you an idea in case you don't know the kind of people that tend to watch this show. We've got a few different sort of people. We've got real estate agents, team leaders, brokers, that kind of thing. We've got like you said, other people that are just kind of in the whole real estate world, loan officers, that kind of thing, because a lot of this applies there. Sometimes we get real estate investors on here as well. And then one other audience that we actually get pretty often too are the people who maybe do more local style marketing, that work with local businesses, that kind of thing. And they happen to work with real estate agents or have real estate clients. So that's kind of who we're talking to today, just so that you know. So let's talk about how writing good copy can help us to lower ad costs. So yeah.
Definitely. It's funny. I almost wish I could show slides, because I didn't put slides together, obviously. But
right.
If we could do that, it'd be cool, because I could show screenshots of like different split tests and whatnot.
Right.
So you're running, and let's say, I'm assuming now someone has run a Facebook ad. If you haven't run a Facebook ad. I mean, there's millions of videos on YouTube. If you're just going to go on YouTube, I don't know, do you have any courses on that?
Right now I have one that I just recently came out with that's about using Facebook lead ads to attract first-time home buyers.
Dude, that's one of the best. Buy his shit, because that's what I was gonna say. I mean, if you can find a way to get something that's good and recent on how to do that, it's huge, because now you can get real leads on demand. Like, you can just flip a light switch and get leads. So first off, if you're not running any of those, run that stuff. But one of the ways that you can actually lower your lead costs, and I noticed this in my own stuff when now I've done it for my clients as well, is and I'll actually show this later on, but if you're writing your Facebook ad and you're just kind of a statement like, buy your home here, or like a statement type of stuff, I mean, you'll get people, but it's going to cost more than if you were to ask the question, right? So let's say you're targeting people who may be looking for a home. Are you looking for a home in the Phoenix, Arizona area? Question, right? Just adding that, it sounds so simple, but literally just adding, and I call it a yes question, just add a yes question at the beginning of your ad will lower your ad cost, because it's going to get more people to stop, say yes, and engage, right? So if they're engaged, your costs are going down. So,
and why does that work so well? Why is such a simple thing like just asking a question that you know the answer is going to be yes to, right? Like the right person is going to say yes to this question. Why does that work so well to help get people engaging?
Well, first off, if you're doing any kind of Facebook ad, I've noticed that actually a picture, and I'm a copywriter, so I love doing the word stuff, but I mean, got to give credit too. I've noticed that a good picture will actually capture the attention first. The next thing is the copy. So if your copy automatically screams at them or says something, it's probably going to scream advertising right off the freaking bat. There's nothing, there's ways of doing it, right? You can still keep everything the same, still have a really killer picture of a house, and so they know you're going to sell them some stuff. But you can, if you ask that question and it makes them nod, you've now made them stop scrolling on their phone, which is where like 80 to 90% of people are if they're looking on Facebook. So they're going to stop. Boom, here's a cool picture. What's this about? Blah, blah, blah. Or am I looking for a house in the Phoenix, Arizona area? Well, I am. Let me keep reading.
And exactly.
So now that you stop, now you got to get them to keep reading. And literally just adding that. I mean, shit, if you do nothing, I don't know if I can cuss. Shoot. If you do nothing else, nothing else, just add a yes question and a link, or a yes question. If you're doing it through lead ads, and that's even easier. Exactly. That's literally just applying that simple thing. I mean, it's gonna make the difference between how cheap you can get your lead, right? It's huge.
Yeah, exactly. Because and you know this. I mean, this is essentially why you start with something like this, because your job at any stage is just to get them to take the next step, right? To read the next line, read the next sentence. They start with the image, then they read, and are they going to go to the next thing? And by getting them to say yes to this question first, you're building momentum, you're building some success that gets them to dive deeper into the rest of your copy, into the rest of where you're actually going to deliver your sales message and deliver your powerful content.
It's there, like 101. It's sales 101. Always make them say yeah. I mean, old school sales would say make them say yes 3 times. You know what I mean? So I'm not a big fan of like literally having 3 questions. That I don't like that. I've noticed it hasn't worked for my stuff, and so anyway. But asking a yes question is powerful for sure. Right.
Well, and not only that, I mean, the other thing too. So not only does it increase engagement, but if you ask the right question, it increases engagement with the people you want it to increase engagement with, right? Like if you're looking for people who want to buy a house and you say, "Are you looking to buy a house?" Well, hey, now I'm not getting anybody who answers no. They're not the people I want to engage with this anyway, right? I'm not looking to attract the wrong people. So it's about getting that right message in front of the right people.
It's funny that you just sparked something in my head. One of the things that I do, and I just kind of take it for granted, but it was a big switch in helping me get more conversions, is if you ask a good yes question that's obviously like it's like pulling some kind of results or something, then take that yes question and make it a headline or a pre-headline on the page that they go to next, right? So that way it's fully congruent with exactly what stopped them. So
that's a great tip. So
it makes a big difference. Adding all these things, I mean, people like don't notice. I mean, 3% increase here, 10% increase there. I mean, that's huge.
Absolutely.
That's like 100 different leads, 100 more leads, 1,000 more leads, depending on how much you're spending.
Yeah, and I forget how the numbers work out, but it's something like I think it's like a 10% increase across four levels. So if you just get a 10% increase across 4 different levels, I think that equates to like an overall like 1,000% return, something like that. I forget how the math works out. It's
yeah,
but
I'm
it's
not a mathematician, but that I love numbers, but I'm not a mathematician.
yeah,
I like hearing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So and that's part of it's one of those things that's really what's inspiring is kind of the word that I think I'm looking for, but because people tend to think like this is the kind of thing where you have to make big sweeping changes to get drastically better results, but not generally, right? It's these small incremental improvements across a few different aspects, like increasing the number of people that click your ad, right? Just increase the number of people that click by 10%, right? And then increasing the number of people that convert, right? Increase your conversion rate by 10%. Not 2 to 10%, but increasing by that much over like 4 things, it starts creating drastically better results. So yeah, it's a super powerful thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so and in case anybody missed that, so the tip that Carlos just threw out was, when you find one of these questions that works well, take that question and throw that onto your landing page, because that creates this congruency where when they say yes to it on Facebook, now they are saying yes to it on the page too, and they know they're in the right place, and that helps with your conversions. Awesome. That's powerful stuff. What else do we have in terms of the actual ad itself for getting better results, getting better engagement, lowering our costs?
Yeah, so I could actually show you. There's 5 steps that I generally use to write a long form Facebook ad, and I'll show you a short form that's also actually worked well. I'm currently using a short form that's outperforming my long form, so I'm not using my long form one for my particular martial art ads that I have going out.
Right.
You should feel good to know both. I've noticed that if you're doing something that's quote unquote high ticket, so I would actually test a long form ad if you're selling a house or trying to get investors, let's say, to invest in apartment buildings or something like that. Anything that you may want some longer copy because you're wanting to qualify more and build a bigger relationship. So the 5 first one we already know, it's the yes question, right? So for example, do you this is funny. I'm drinking coffee right here out of my buddy Ryan Stewin's thing called The Tribe. So I'll like I'm gonna try and sell some coffee to prove that this can literally sell pretty much anything. This is off the fly, right? So
let's do it.
Yes question, right? Do you love coffee?
I do.
Yeah, if you do, right? Next question is the story to relate. I remember when I was buying X brand coffee, and it felt great, but after an hour, I would start feeling a big crash, and I was tired all day, and blah blah blah. But okay, so that's my story to relate to them, assuming they can relate to that. That's step 2, story to relate. Step 3 is what I call the big aha moment. So that's where you have the big transition. So, but then something crazy happened. I found this other coffee that was unbelievable. It tasted so freaking good. It like knocked my socks off. Literally, it had me wired for like 6 hours straight, and I didn't even get the jitters, and I didn't even crash. It just felt like a nice, smooth transition, right? So that's the aha moment, right? So that's step 3. Step 4 is you suggest the possible solution, right? So you suggest that this is a solution for them. So you say, now, I don't know if this is going to work for you, but it's worked for me and literally millions of other people just like us. So I don't know if it's worth giving it a try, but maybe it is, right? So I'm suggesting the solution. This is important because it makes them want to freaking qualify for it. They want it, right? Now they're like, oh man, I hope it's a solution for me. Like,
I hope it works for me. Yeah.
I hope it works for me. Yeah. So that's step 4, right? And then step 5 is really simple. It's the call to action. So we just say, to see if this is the right coffee for you, click this link and check out the description or whatever the call to action is, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
You can literally sell anything. And that's, if you follow those 5 steps, that's how you would write a long form Facebook ad. And you can plug and play for anything.
Right. And part of why it works so well is because inherently at its foundation is this story arc that we as people we love stories. We love seeing people go from a problem to a solution, and then it's just tying on. It's just kind of tacking on that call to action at the end of this story, saying, "Hey, this could work for you too." And that's so powerful. So again, anybody who missed that. So the formula was we start with a yes question. right? So
Yeah.
we start with the question, and this is something basically, are you in this market? Are you the kind of person who's going to want this solution?
Right.
That kind of idea.
Are you looking for a home in Phoenix, Arizona?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Or
Step 2, right? Can I write an ad in my head right here? Let's see if we can do
let's do it.
So,
Okay.
let's say we're trying to find those guys, right? So
Okay.
Step 1, are you looking for a home in city and state? Phoenix,
Right.
Arizona, Miami,
Right.
Florida, whatever, right? Template. Story. I remember when I first started looking for a home, it was such a pain. There were so many options and there's so many deals. I didn't know if I would qualify for them. I didn't know if I would get a loan. And the real estate agent wasn't calling me back, and they could. And but I list out all whatever my problems are, right?
Right.
Step 3, the big aha moment. But then something crazy happened. I actually figured out that if I became a real estate agent, then I could help people never have this problem again. And so
I like that one.
To turn the entire real estate market upside down and expose people, these fake real estate agents, whatever it might be. So I'm on your side now. And so that's the big aha moment, right? So that's
right.
weird. So that's step 3. Step 4. Now, I've helped tons of people find their dream home, and whatever the budget is, especially if you're working between a $200,000 and $500,000 budget, whatever it is, you can qualify, right?
Giving a qualifier for the kind of people you want to work with. Yep.
Exactly, right? But I don't know if I can help you. Who knows? I've worked with hundreds of people, and they're all happy. But in order to, and I'm going to shift to step 5, the call to action. But to see if we are a good fit together, and to see if I can actually find your dream home, make sure you click this link and book a call with me for a 30-minute free strategy session or whatever it is, right?
Right.
Boom, there's your Facebook ad.
There you go. There you go.
And I the story.
Exactly. And it's so powerful. As a side note, by the way, guys, anybody listening to this, I have also used the same formula. This is essentially how I get people to write testimonials for me too. I get that. Yeah. So not the yes question, and not generally the call to well, no, I tend to have them include a call to action, but something akin to the story to relate is just what was life like before they were working with me, right? And this is whether for me or for clients. I mean, in general, this is how I do testimonials. But that pain. What was the pain like before this? Oh, and then I met them, and now this is what life is like in the promised land. If you want a great experience like this, you should work with this person. So it works. This story.
That's exactly right. I actually have a way that I structure testimonials when I ask people for testimonials most times. With clients, so it follows. It's exactly what you said. Step 1 would be the intro. Hey, my name's Carlos Redlich. I'm from Miami, Florida. Right. Step 2 is your story. I was really broke when I was younger, so I decided to open a martial arts gym, and that wasn't working out. And I was like, how do I get leads? Step 3, the big aha moment. But then I found, the XYZ system that was like almost like magic. I started getting like hundreds of leads within months, and it blew my business up too. And that's it. Step 4 would just be the call to action. You've got to get on this. So make sure you click the link, apply, do whatever you got to do, but make sure you get this. It will totally change your life.
Exactly. And
4 steps.
And it's so powerful.
Yeah, the story brings people in. That's what makes it real. It makes them. So you've gotten to say yes. So it's like, okay, cool. Like I'm agreeing so far to read the next line. That next line has to just grab them by like the heart, right? You gotta get them. So if you can literally tap into what they're thinking, that's why if you're talking to people who are looking for a home, I don't know all of the things that they have issues with, but if you're a real estate agent talking to them, you probably know all the stuff that pain, right? So you identify it, and you don't have to lie. So if you haven't experienced that type of stuff, if you haven't purchased a home, you can say, Susie Q, who I just helped, here's what she said. She had this struggle, and you list out all this stuff right there, right? So there's ways to do it and everything, but that story is what will make them actually like latch onto you and start really thinking about maybe this is somebody I want to get to know, so to speak, right?
Exactly. Because we despite anything else, like we are very much humans are very very much story driven people. We dive into this stuff, and it pulls us in. There's a reason why there's a reason why even television as a medium itself is so successful. And further, there's a reason why like reality TV is so successful, right? Because we love these stories, but we don't just love these stories. We love hearing like the real things that people go through. And so that's why this works so well in these ads, is that you're conveying this sort of reality, this story of what, the problems that you've gone through, the solution on the other end. And especially if you're targeting your ads correctly to the right people, making sure that, you're targeting people that are likely to answer yes. I mean, if you send an ad out to all of Las Vegas and say, are you looking to buy a home? Well, there's only a percentage of those people that are interested. Your ad's not going to necessarily do that great. But if you use the targeting and you get in front of people likely to be interested in buying, like you target likely to move, or you target maybe like a retargeting list where they've been looking at homes on your site, right? That's the kind of stuff that's gonna jive with this. It's gonna work well. So awesome, man. Powerful stuff. Hey guys, anybody watching this live, anybody listening, if you're liking this content, if this is going to make your life easier, creating Facebook ads, creating any ads, really, drop a comment below this video. Let Carlos know that you're enjoying this content. Let us know that you're liking this. If you have any questions, make sure you're engaging. Let us know. We'd love to help you. If you give them some likes. Give them some likes. If you guys are not on the Real Estate Growth Hackers page right now watching this, and you're commenting, you're engaging, you're loving this, we can't see you. We can't see what you're doing. You got to get over to the Real Estate Growth Hackers page. Below this video somewhere should be a link to the Real Estate Growth Hackers page. Go there and drop your comments on there. That's where we'll be able to see them. Otherwise you're just, talking into the ether and we can't see you. So, we appreciate it.
Everland.
So we got some more content to cover. We got some more stuff that you've got for me. You mentioned that you have some information about how people can get people to book calls via email, right?
Transition, right? So if we're talking about Facebook ads,
real quick. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that in just a second, guys. But before we do that, I want to let you know about something I've got for you. So what we've got, I know that real estate agents tend to struggle with this process of, say they figured out how to generate leads. Say they figured out the process of filling people in the funnel with ads like this, right? But so many of the real estate agents struggle with this. What do you do after you've generated the lead? What does that follow-up process look like? What is the long-term game of taking somebody from lead to client? And that's what I sought to solve in a product that I put together for you, completely free, that you can get access to, called Ultimate Lead Machine. So you can get Ultimate Lead Machine today. All you got to do, drop a comment below this video that says lead tips. My team will reach out to you, tell you how to get it for free. If you're listening to this on the podcast, one of the other things that you can do as well is you can send a text with the message lead tips, LEADTIPS, to 444-999. That's lead tips to 444-999. So that's what I got for you guys. But let's go ahead and dive back into this great content from Carlos about how you can use email to get people to book calls.
Dude, so once you guys get his program and you figure out how to run profitable Facebook ads and do all that kick-ass stuff, the next logical transition, right? As soon as you've gotten this lead from Facebook, you've generated, what are you going to do, right? You're going to give them a call and try to sell them, do whatever you're going to do. Maybe you're going to give them a call to schedule another call, whatever it might be. But one of the biggest issues is no-shows. People who just may book a call, but they don't actually show up to the call, or they don't pick up the phone call, or whatever that might be. So using emails, generally I would suggest 15 to 30 emails. At the very minimum, use 7 emails, and I'll explain all this why. But you want to have a series of emails so that, these people didn't just, they have busy lives, right? So they may have not blown you off. They may have just had to go pick up their kid or go to the grocery. You never know, right? So you always want to stay in front of them. And the easiest, most automated way to do it, instead of having to bang out the phone every single day and harassing them, is just send them an email. And the emails aren't very corporate-like. A lot of times that's where people screw up. And the way I like to write emails, it's pretty simple. It generally will start with a subject line that ends in a question mark or 3 dots. I think it's called the ellipses, right?
Okay, yeah.
I don't even know what it's called. It proves you can do this shit and not know what the hell it is.
So we got subject line with question mark or ellipses. Okay, I'm with you. Which is the 3 dots for anybody else who doesn't know what that word means.
Exactly. Or the little yeah. So what that would be, increases open rates. It'll make them. I mean, for some reason, this is what I think. Because you don't know, it just works. So I assume it increases open rates because it's like a question. So there's curiosity, or it's still curiosity. It's like an unfinished statement, right? So it's like, what's the next thing? So that leads me to the next part of the email. In that part of the email, you don't automatically, at least the way I do it, I don't like automatically start, Dear Jay or Dear John or Dear whoever, right? I would start in the kind of like, let's say my subject line is, are you still interested in this home? Question mark.
Right.
And next part would be something like, it was crazy. I was going for a jog earlier this morning. I would start with a story and I would almost start right in the middle, right? And I wouldn't drag it on forever, but I would just start in the middle of the story, maybe like 4 or 5 sentences, a little mini paragraph, a nice little chunk.
Right.
I was going for a jog and it was crazy. I was blasting Radiohead or whatever you listen to. And this thought came into me, and I remembered this amazing house, and I remembered your name popping into my system. And I was like, why haven't I talked to this person? I've got to show them this house. Like, what's going on? I wanted it. So here's my transition. So that's the story to kind of suck them in and kind of resonate a little. So then I do my intro. I say, hey, Carlos here. I'm the real estate agent who's going to be taking care of you and helping you find your dream home. Right. So now that's my intro. So I've had a little story to bring them in so that the reason I like to do that also is if you look at your Google, like if you have Gmail, let's say, you'll be able to see the subject line and then you'll see like the first sentence or 2 sentences in the preview pane of what's there. So if it looks spam, it looks like just a generic thing, that's not going to get, that's not important.
Or even if it's just like, hey, first name, right? And even if it is actually their first name, it's the same thing everybody else is doing. So while it may not be hurting you by itself, it's not giving you any benefit. It's not capturing their interest. It's not furthering your cause.
It's essentially the second subject line. That preview pane is like the second. So you have the first subject line, and then you have what continues after that. And it'll end with ... or whatever naturally, because that's just the Google pane is going to show the whole thing probably. Sentences, right? So that in itself is like more curiosity. You're like, okay, I got to click on this shit now, right?
I like that. Yeah.
That's part of it, right? So then you do your intro, you say whatever, Carlos, I'm going to find your dream home, blah, blah, blah. And then you go and transition straight into, since you've already kind of told them that you have to get on a call with them, you just go ahead and do a simple call to action that's like, so to go ahead and book your call, it's, there's no cost to it, absolutely zero zip, nada, zilch, whatever. Click this link, you'll go right to my calendar, and you can schedule 15 minutes, and we can see if this is a house you want. Bang, something simple. And maybe you have a better offer that's worked because you've been on the phone, right?
Right.
You just know what works. But whatever it is, that's where you would transition. So it would be subject line 2, right, which is essentially like the story. Your intro, your call to action. And you would essentially follow that for the next 7 days, 15 days. And you could switch it up with different offers. But I would always follow the same question mark, 3 dot thing for all of these emails. And then I would follow with the second subject line, and it would always start with a story, right? So even if it's like the 10th email and it's the 10th day, it'll be like, hey, it was crazy. I was just running on my treadmill and I'm out of breath now, but I just realized I mailed you 9 times. This is actually the 10th email and I still haven't heard from you. I'm about to have a heart attack, because I'm on this treadmill because I haven't heard from you. I've got this house. It's hot. It's exactly what I think you would want, but I don't know until we get on a phone call, and I got to figure it out. So please, please, please go ahead, click this link. I'm only going to talk to you for about 15 minutes. Let's get on the phone and see if this is a house you really want. I promise, blah, blah, blah. Click there now. Bang, done. Right. It starts with the story, right?
Right.
And it hooks them in.
And that's the key.
It could be better, but you know what I mean?
Well, and that's the nice thing about this, though, is that the fundamentals of it are the emphasis here, right? Like the idea of, like, I don't know if you've got a name for this or not, but I would almost call it like the upside down email, right? Like normally you have people like, like they start with their name, they start with the introduction, they maybe give a little bit of context, and then they go into maybe they tell the story, and then they do the call to action. But this is like the
about to be called the upside down email formula.
There you go. You're welcome. I'll send you my consulting fee.
Right.
But yeah, so like that's part of what's fun about this is that you're flipping it upside down, because it's just like when you go out to dinner, and like you start with your meal or whatnot. But if you really like dessert, right? Like, wouldn't it be better if you just started with dessert? That's the part you really want. Why don't you get the dessert first? Since that's kind of what this is it's leading with the stuff that really captivates them, pulls them in, and brings them to the rest of the message. So yeah, that's super powerful.
Well, if you think about it, it's like softening the blow of the pitch. You're not just going in for the kill and they don't even know anything about you. At least they read something that's kind of gets them a feel like, oh, well, this person likes to go jogging in the wilderness, and they listen to Radiohead, and they imagine what's happening. They can imagine you, right? So it just builds a connection. So when you quote unquote whack them with the price or whack them with the pitch or whatever, it softens the blow. Now coming from almost a friend, it's a little bit better than a.
Well, and it reminds me of, like, I mean, you see this a lot in movies and stuff too, where really any good story seems to do this, where like part of what you described is you're almost starting in the middle, right? Like some of the best movies, when you come into them, they don't open up at really the start of the story. They open up where kind of the action is already in play, and then they take some time and they go back and catch you up. But they're bringing you into something that's already into momentum, instead of trying to build the momentum up. And I think mentally we really jive with that, right? Like that pulls us in. It almost feels like I'm trying to think of a scenario where it's like this, but it's like if you're going to like a business meeting or something, and like you get there, but then like the person is kind of like speed walking out of their office, and they're like, walk with me, let's do this meeting. And and you're like, oh, what's going on? Okay, we're walking, I guess. And and it's almost like that. So it kind of catches them off guard and makes them think like, oh, well, what's going on in this email? I got to read and figure out where I am. But
you could actually say that, man. You're a good copywriter, man. You could actually say that in the email, because the way you're saying it, I'm imagining it in my head. Okay, good. Grabbing me, walking. We're talking fast. I for some reason I imagine I'm in a suit. I don't ever wear a suit.
Right. But hey, I'm a good enough copywriter. I got you thinking you're in a suit.
Dude, but dude, if you do that, if you actually lay that out, if you kind of present it like that in an email, people as they're reading it, they're going to be imagining. It's like reading a book. They're going to be like, oh yeah. You could be like, hey, so let's grab you by the hand real quick in this email, and walk with me through this. Walk through me through the next few sentences.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 some shit like that. And then man, that would work well. I like that.
Something like you're busy, I'm busy, so let's get right into it.
Get right into it. Yeah. But I think if you use like the keyword,
walk with me. Yeah.
Let me grab you by the arm, pull you over here. Walk with me through this email. Fast.
Absolutely.
Look at what to do. Right now, they're literally, I got pulled. I'm walking fast. Like they're imagining it because you're telling those keywords. It's good. That's good shit, dude.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, so I mean, this formula, I really like this concept. I think some of these things, you're like, even though I haven't tested this one personally myself, there's some things that you get and you're like, intuitively, you understand, like, yeah, I mean, if I got an email like that, I can intuitively understand how that's going to pull me in and why I'm going to be interested in that and why it's different than everything else they're getting, right? Because we start getting tuned to these patterns where it's like, okay, so the beats that most people go through in an email are like subject line that by itself turns you off because you don't care. So then an intro, you don't care who this person is yet, so why do you care to know more about them? And then finally they get to the point of the thing, and by this point you haven't even continued reading. So yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly. Awesome, man. So that's powerful. So we got subject line 1 where we've got a question mark or an ellipses, right? So the whole idea here is that we're creating curiosity. We're leading them into the next part of this, right? It's kind of the same idea as what we were talking about with the with the Facebook ad formula as well, where we're kind of asking the question to start them into the next process, right? then we got what you're, and I really like this. I like calling it subject line 2, right? Where it's acknowledging the fact that that the next part is really the next. It is also the subject line because they're seeing it. And so that's where we're coming into the middle of a story and just starting with the story, and then we're transitioning that into the intro to say who I am. And then from there, we're giving them the call to action. We're saying, hey, this is who I am. I'm here to help you. You know, the way that I can help you is if you click the button to book a call with me, or if you pick up the phone and call me, whatever it is that you're driving them to. And then they do it, right? And so, and then the other part of the other part of this process is, you mentioned you want to be sending a lot of emails. You want to be following up with these people for a long time. 7 emails minimum, 15 to 30 is recommended.
Yep. The doctor recommended, man. Doctor recommended.
This is Carlos's script that he's handing to you, his prescription. That you're not going to be able to read it, but the people at Walgreens, they will. They understand what's going on there.
Exactly. I'll just draw fun aloud. Don't know what that means.
There you go. Fantastic, man. So we actually got a couple of questions, couple of people tuned in. So let's go ahead and pull over to that real quick. Guys, if you like this content that Carlos has been sharing, whether it's the stuff from earlier where we're talking about this formula for writing Facebook ad copy that's going to really work to help lower your costs to get you better results, or whether it's this awesome formula for writing these emails that capture your people's interest and pull them in and get them to take action, make sure, drop a comment. Let us know that you're enjoying this. So we got Drew. Back when we said that before, Drew had said silly, awesome value bombs within. So Drew's loving this content. So thanks, Drew. We've got a couple of people, by the way, if you guys haven't already, we've got Drew got the lead tips course. We got Tyrone got the lead tips. So welcome to that course, guys. I hope that that content's going to be valuable for you. And then we got this one here. And actually, I don't know the full context of this one. So maybe this is something you're aware of. Mentioned something about catchy text messages. Catchy as in like maybe like getting good responses off of text messages. Robert, if that's what you mean, if you mean like sending text messages and how to get people to reply, just say yes or something in the comments so that I know that's what you're talking about, and I'm sure we could take a second to dive into that. Well, either way, Carlos, let's assume that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I've only done it with 2 clients, and the way we actually use
you cut out there for a second. The way you use what?
So the way can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good.
So we essentially kind of follow the same formula, except super short. It's
right.
We say, do you want to make more money, or do you love coffee? Yes, question, right? We ask the yes, comment yes if you do. They comment yes. And then I don't know these systems because I don't personally use it. I did it for a couple clients. So I know this shit is possible, but
right.
You make them comment yes, and some magical thing happens and they get sent another follow-up message.
Right.
Right. So that follow-up. So if you want to make more money, blah, 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 do you want to make more money? Comment yes. They comment yes, or they send you a reply saying whatever, right? And after that, you send them a link, which is just a call to action. Click here to get the full scoop on how to make money online, or click here to get the full scoop on all of these homes, or whatever it might be, or click here to get the full list of all these homes, or whatever, right? Make them click the link, but it's very short. You don't want to bombard them with like you don't want to bombard them with like an essay stuff, right? Because
right.
they're not going to read. They're going to be like, this is spammy stuff,
Absolutely.
So get engaged. That's what I found to work best, instead of just blasting it. I know some people have seen success.
Right.
You've gotten direct, say, for a webinar. You can just blast them. Hey, we're starting into, and that works too. But I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about kind of selling them on there, right?
Exactly.
You're gonna text message, say, do you want to learn how to flip houses? Say send yes. They click yes. Click here to join our free webinar. It's starting soon. Boom.
Awesome. One of the ones that it's actually it's a pretty ninja tactic. The one that I use. It's very much the same principle though. The first and guys, if you haven't tried this, try this. Okay, especially Robert, you gotta take a second. The next lead that comes in, send this message. Okay, so what you send is you literally just send. So like Robert, let me say that you're the lead. So I sent a message that says, "Hey, is this Robert?" And Robert, what are you going to say? Robert is going to say, Robert's going to say one of two things. Robert's either going to say yes, or he's going to say, who's this? That's what you're going to say, right, Robert? But you're going to engage and you're going to reply. And so that's one of the best messages that I found to start with. And using the same idea, what you do from there is generally they're either going to ask who you are or they're not. But if whether or not they do, basically say, but basically what you say is you say, hey, this is Zach Hammer from XYZ Realty. You just inquired about a home on my site, or you just did this, you just whatever, and you give them some reason why they want to engage further with you, and that's going to be any number of things. It could be like, it could be, I've actually got a house right now that is yet to hit the market, and I think it's going to sell for probably $20,000 below market value. Would you have a sec to hop on the phone to see if that property is a good fit? Right? No. So now, obviously, with this stuff, if you don't have a property that's $20,000 below market, don't say that, right? Right. Because they're gonna get on the phone, and you're gonna be like, I
got this one.
Yeah, right. It just sold. But yeah. So that's the tactic that I've used that gets a lot of good success, especially on real estate style stuff, because it really is. It becomes a whole lot more about making a connection with the person and then finding out enough information to be able to make some of those more direct offers. Like, I've got this list of free market homes, or I've got this foreclosure list, or I've got whatever it is, those actual offers. You tend to be able to get better results once you've actually had a chance to talk to them. And so it's just about getting that first conversation.
Dude, that was golden nugget.
Well, hey, there you go.
That was good. I'm happy I got on the call.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So Robert's saying he's got no sound right now. Robert, I think it might be an issue on your end, because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to hear Carlos if the sound wasn't coming through for everybody. If the sound is still not working, and if I after going through this and watching the replay, I see that it's not working, I will happily type up some of the summary of what Carlos and I just went through. But yeah, guys. So that's that was a great question from Robert. Okay, Robert's saying it's okay now. So thanks so much for engaging, Robert. It's always nice to have people in here and able to go interact live. So one of the other things,
like a hot seat.
Yeah, exactly. One of the other
Facebook ads. What do you do?
Yeah, let us know, Robert. How are you driving leads? How are you getting people into your funnel? One other thing, as we're waiting for Robert to respond, so I'm actually going to drop a link into the comments as well. You guys have the ability, if you want to, you can actually hop into this call with Carlos and I, and you can come on, hop on camera. You can do this from your phone. You can do it from your computer, and we would happily take a second to answer any questions and engage with you and talk with you. If you want to do that, I dropped the link into the comments. You're more than welcome to drop on. Otherwise, feel free, keep engaging in the comments. Keep letting Carlos know that you're liking this content. And we got to spread the love. We got to spread the love. And hey, guys, if you are enjoying this, one other thing. Actually, I forgot to mention this in the pre-show, but share this, right? Like if you guys like this content, share it out to people. I'm sure you know other people that would like this too. The more people that we get on this, the more people that we get live, especially, the better these shows always end up being. But it's this thing that we've got to build up momentum on. So share it out, get more people on here. We'd love to have them. Anybody else, if you guys, so I see we've still got a good number of live viewers. If you're not watching on the Facebook page, make sure down below here, there we go, somewhere around there, I think. Oh, you can't see me. I'm cut off over there. Make sure you go to our Facebook page, Real Estate Growth Hackers, so that we can see your comments, and then comment on this and engage. We'll happily answer any questions. So I see. So Robert, you mentioned that you are struggling to generate leads. Go ahead, if you haven't already, drop a comment that says lead tips if you haven't already. If you have, then just let me know. I'm more than happy after this to talk to you about kind of lead generation methods and some of what's really working right now in the real estate industry. But it's a bit of a bigger topic. But the basic thing, if you want to start generating leads, do exactly what Carlos just said, and pick a segment of the audience that you want to go after, and start crafting ads on Facebook. Start doing something like that in order to get those people back and engaged as leads, and then use the same methods that Carlos just mentioned for how you follow up with them, and that's how you take that and turn that into business. So that's kind of the really high level basic idea of generating those leads. But feel free, get that lead tips course. That'll guide you a bit. If not that one specifically, it'll start introducing you to some of the other content that I have that will help you generate leads as well. So as you guys are continuing to watch, drop those questions below. But Carlos, I've got some questions for you while other people are hopefully engaging. And here, look, we got Eric. Eric decided to get the Ultimate Lead Machine course as well. So thanks, Eric. Welcome. Okay, so these are kind of like, do you listen to the Tim Ferriss podcast?
Yeah, I do. Well, no, actually, I'd like to, but I do.
Okay. Fair enough. So, at the end, like kind of toward the end of his podcast, he has like these simpler questions, but they're fairly consistent, but they're just designed as kind of a few ways that, for most people who have success in anything, there tends to be other things that help them get there. And so that's what these questions are designed to sort of find out and unlock and sort of wrap up for people. So, so Carlos, what are some of your favorite tools, like day to day doing business, doing your work? And one of the qualifiers I always like to throw into this one, when I say tool, a lot of people think software, not just software, but whether it's something like this timer thing that I have on my wall, or if you really like Post-it notes, or whatever you need in your business to get your results. What are some of your favorite things in that world?
Man, I need my cell phone. That's numero uno. I'm actually on my cell phone right now. That's how I'm doing this video.
Nice.
Cell phone is number one. I don't know if ClickFunnels counts, but ClickFunnels is definitely number two. And,
absolutely.
Facebook ads.
Nice. And
for the top three, I would say, because that's what I do. I mean, I'm running ads to my ClickFunnels landing page, and then that's it, man. And my phone, I do everything on my phone. One of the things I use my phone for, though, is obviously my calendar, because I have everything in there. But then whenever I write copy, I'll do it in like 1 hour segments, and then I just take a break. So for 1 hour, I don't answer messages, I don't do anything. I'm just writing, looking at a blank screen, and that's all I'm doing for an hour. And then
nice.
Low 20-30 minute break and go back to it. So those are my
makes sense. And so for anybody listening who doesn't happen to know what ClickFunnels is it's like a landing page building software. It's kind of more than that, but that's the essence of what it is. It allows you to put together pages where you can capture people's information and then follow up with them for business later. So it does a whole number of things. It's a really cool platform. Depending on what world you work in, for real estate, there may be some platforms that you're using that essentially do most of what you would need and may better serve your needs. Specifically, like there's home valuation software, and there's stuff that actually integrates with MLS listings with the IDX and that kind of stuff. So there's some other softwares that kind of serve the same thing. But the place that it serves in your business, Carlos, is the ability to have pages where you can collect information so that you can build a list and follow up with people, right?
It makes it seem, I'm not a programmer or web developer or anything, so it's very easy to just take a template that it's basic, customize it with my copy, and then it's automatically like integrated to go to the next page when they click a button. I don't have to do any code. I just go to the next page, and it goes to the next page. So I can just out my lead capture pages, like 10, 30 minutes max. Awesome. 10 minutes. So it just makes life easy. Awesome. And then for Facebook ads, are you how are you normally doing that? Are you normally rocking the ad manager? Or are you normally using the Power Editor? How do you interface with your Facebook ads, or do you use like a third party platform like Ad Espresso or Quaya or something like that? I haven't. I've actually wanted to kind of test around and play around with this, but I'm not like a
Right.
Facebook. To be honest, I'm a little fortunate because my buddy Brandon Stewart, he's run like $1 billion in ads, and
Oh,
he's
nice.
away from my house. So like we're good friends, and so he hooks it up, so to speak. So he essentially did his magic and set
Right.
up my Facebook account how it should be set up, I guess.
Right.
Goes and did everything. So at this point, I just take the ad that he'll put that works and just kind of shoot money at it. So
Awesome.
I'm a little, yeah, I don't know.
No, hey, like honestly, there's actually a really important point I think to extract from that. And now that I think about this, there was something else that you said a while back that I want to make a point about too, because I think it's important. You mentioned it as like an underlying thing, and I think a lot of people probably missed it. But what you just said is super important. So the reality is, one of the common things that we talk about, you hear real estate agents talk about this all the time, right? Which is, like most people will go to a barber to get a haircut, right? They will hire a professional to do that work, right? And and that's kind of the whole pitch as being a real estate agent is, I'm a professional person who sells property. I'm not, by the way. I'm saying as a real estate agent.
Right.
So what you're doing is you're leveraging a professional who is specifically a professional in Facebook ads, which is exactly what makes sense, right? Do what you excel at, do what makes you come alive, and then find other people to do the rest. Now, noted, depending on where you are in your business, people may not have the budget to hire a completely professional ad agency right off the bat, but know that you don't grow a big business by constantly DIYing everything.
No,
right?
you can't. The way I do it, to be honest, I actually pay copywriters to write stuff for my martial stuff now, because sometimes when I write for it, I'm like too close to it, and it's funny to come from a copywriter, right? But I'll have some of my friends who are copywriters write some copy for me. And
right.
It works well, so it's good. But yeah, I mean, even like I actually didn't pay for my buddy Brandon to do any of this, right? But he wasn't my buddy. We met in a Facebook group, and it was a marketing group, and we're just giving each other tips or something. And I don't know how it sounds so funny. It sounds like we're dating. But so we clicked, and he's like, dude, I live in Arizona too, blah, blah, blah. I live 30 minutes away from Scottsdale. You live in Scottsdale. I'm like, oh shit, well, let's link up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We ended up going to the same little event that was going on locally.
Cool.
So we met up, hung out. It was cool, man. So that we created a friendship. In his eyes, he just met he thinks I'm a good copywriter. I'm not saying it. He thinks so. So friends is a good copywriter, and I'll write ads for him for free sometimes because we're just hanging out. He's like, dude, I got this client that this shit isn't converting. I need some help. I'm like, oh, pull that shit up. He gets free ads or free copy, and then I'm like, hey, Brandon, I'm about to run an ad. I don't know what I'm doing. Can I just pop over for like an hour and you do your magic? Oh yeah, come over, man. So the whole reason that is because if you don't have money, then you have to start leveraging relationships.
Yeah.
You don't have relationships.
Oh, you cut out there for a second. You said you don't have money. You have to start leveraging relationships. I think I may have heard your audio just come back.
Right. Yeah. So exactly. And you have to find where those people are. Right. So for me, I didn't go to the event first and then, find Brandon.
Right.
On Facebook, in a Facebook group that was all about marketing, digital marketing. So everybody in there is an entrepreneur. And it happened to be that one of the members out of the thousands lived 30 minutes away, and we ended up going to the same thing, and we connected, and that was like the best relationship ever, right?
Right. So
that's what you got to do. If you don't have money, you still got an internet connection, hopefully. And if you don't, go to the library like I used to do, and still.
I think you may have cut out again.
Stuff. So
go library like you used to do, and then it cut out after there.
That's it. Take that.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
You got to join them. I mean, join these groups because there's no excuse for it. If you don't have money, you can build the relationships. And just because someone's further along the entrepreneurial path than you doesn't mean they won't hang out with you or be friends. They may not want to hang out with you all day because they got like stuff to do. But I mean, I have people who have made 9 figures, over $100 million, and they're literally like, I go to cookouts with them and shit. And people take that for that's a connect. People pay him like 50 grand for a day to hang out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I met him online through freaking Facebook.
Yeah.
In a group. His employee found me. They hired me to write some copy, and we became friends. And he lives 20, 30 minutes away. We were actually thinking, I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, dude, where are you going to watch the fight? We're figuring it out. I'm like, dude's worth $100-something million. Like, that's great.
Right.
Like,
yeah. And it's amazing. I think you're exactly right. The kind of people who really know what they're doing, who know how to help you in these kinds of things, like I don't know about you. This is kind of the way that I feel about like most of my products and courses and that kind of thing. I feel like I'm packaging them up to be an easy way to convey this content, because I know most people will have an easier time taking that, going through it, having the ability to go back through it. And there's value in that. There's value just in having it packaged up in that way. And then, but I also like, I'm willing to help people. Like you shoot me a message on Facebook and say, hey, I'm doing this. What do you think? Or do you have any tips? Do you have any feedback? I mean, sure. I'm sure there's some point where like I will run out of time and won't be able to, but that's not right now. And I as a person am more than happy to help people, because I know, I get somebody making more money. Ultimately, they want the easier help of buying the course, and I end up making more money, and it's a really good cycle of stuff.
It's so true. It's so true. People underestimate the power of Facebook groups. Now that I mean, I don't mean it's like I feel like we should sell a course now on Facebook groups. But I made over 6 figures just like 2 or 3 groups on Facebook that are just internet marketing related and copywriting related. And then those people became my friends on Facebook. So I maxed out my friends list with I have 300 people that are my friends from high school and family and everything. And then I have another 4,700 people who are all freaking internet marketers.
Right.
Like, it's unbelievable when you have a network like that, and people, it's not like I'm like, you actually, you message and say, hey, thanks for the friendship. Like little shit like this. Like, it's so effective. It blows my mind how people don't make money online when there's so many. You could literally just be friends with everybody. And I mean, the fastest way to freaking make it, and I know this is real estate, so you guys all have something to sell, but like, I've always said, like, if you're like dead broke or something, get good at some kind of skill that you can sell as a service. It'll be harder to scale, but it's faster to sell in my experience. Right. So when I didn't know how to make websites, but I knew how to outsource it on Upwork. And so I would just do that shit. So I would figure out how to drive leads, close the leads, sell it for, $1,500 and get it done for $200. But that was it. But if you can sell service, man, it's like you just join these groups, become friends. Someone's gonna freaking buy your shit, because if everybody who accepts your friendship from these groups or vice versa, whatever, you hit them up, you send them a message and say, hey man, really appreciate you connecting. I'm not here to pitch you or any of that nonsense. Just want to, hey, that's it, because they just accept it, right? And if you're not pitching them, and I hate to put down MLMers, because I know a lot of like loaded rich MLMers, so they're crushing it. But I know like the newbie MLMers, they'll just spam the shit out of you, and it's so. So when someone accepts your friendship, like I know when I accept a friendship, I'm like, I hope they're not going to fucking pitch me and blow me. So I get a message, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, like, what are they going to say? And if they're just like, hey, dude, thanks for accepting the request, not here to pitch you, keep crushing it. Oh, cool, dude, yeah. You're not just freaking trying to pounce on me. Right, exactly.
And guys, just so that you know, I just recently did a Facebook Live with Jason Abrams. And Carlos, I don't know if you would know who Jason Abrams is or not, but he's got a really cool specialty in the real estate world. He actually had a show on HGTV called Scoring the Deal. What he's done is he's built out a really powerful network around working with professional athletes. So he works with professional athletes to find them the homes when like they're moving to a new city because they just got like drafted or because they just got traded or whatever. And so he works with people like that. Anyway, and by the way, anybody listening to this, he also works with a lot of other people too. That's just one of the specific segments that he works with. But we actually just recently did a Facebook Live, and he laid out his step-by-step plan of how he basically built out his millionaire in real estate. They call it a sphere of influence, but his rich people connections. And it's essentially exactly what you're talking about, right? It was like you start up these relationships, you're cool to people, and what part of what he mentions is your goal is like year by year. You're not looking to add like a ton of people to like your real whatchamacallit, like your close friends. You're going to add like 2 people a year. 2 people a year will become close friends. And then, exactly. Everybody else you're making connections with. But anyway, so powerful stuff there. One of the things that we had come in, by the way, we had, and I am almost definitely going to butcher this name. Powell, maybe? I'm gonna hope that's right. How's it going, man? But he agreed with what we were talking about. He liked the point that we were making there. So I'm gonna go ahead and boost through some of these other questions. I'm gonna leave us with 2 more things. So the first one of the things that I always like to do, we're in a very quick paced world, right? We got everybody's busy. So say the people watching, okay, maybe they missed all of the stuff before this, or they're the kind of person that's just skipping to the end of the replay. If somebody
You're skipping to the yes of the letter.
But if somebody walked away from this and could only remember 3 things from what we talked about today, what would be your top 3 things that you would hope that they would remember?
I would say number 1 would be run freaking Facebook ads. Do that. Get your course through that.
Right.
The second thing would be use the 5-step formula to actually write those ads. And I actually want to give a short form formula as well. It's
okay.
Same thing. It's a yes question. It's you then after the yes question, you include a link, and then you include the step 5 call to action. So it's really 3 steps. It's yes question, link, call to action. So I would just keep those formulas. So I forget what number 1 is. Get your course. Figure out how to generate leads. That's A, and then lower lead costs and get more people to actually get on the phone.
Right.
By follow that 5-step system or the 3-step system for Facebook ads, and then use emails to actually get people on the phone if for some reason they're not showing up.
Right. Awesome. And for the
always emails, never just one email or it won't work. It's got to be a sequence.
So sequence of emails, and the style of emails that we like after learning them from Carlos is the upside down email formula where we're leading in with that story, right? So that's that's the formula. That's the formula there. Awesome, man. So that's some great stuff. So again, if you guys missed that, so number 1, run Facebook ads. Get yourself some leads, generate those leads. Number 2, use the 5-step formula or the 3-step formula if you're going to go short form in order to get people to engage with your ad and get results so that you can keep those costs down. Step 3, am I on camera? There we go. Step 3, you're going to put together an email sequence that uses the upside down email formula. And if you're watching this and you have no idea what we're talking about when we describe that, go back and watch the parts where we actually talked about it. Awesome, man. So, where can people learn more about you? Where should they go? How should they engage with you? All that kind of stuff. Where do you want to send people as a result of listening to this?
Yeah. So if you like what you heard so far, I would recommend getting it's my blatant pitch, a graphic book on Amazon. It's called The Copywriting Playbook. It's a whopping $9. Super expensive.
Fantastic.
So it's very easy, very simple. It goes step by step through every type of copy that you're going to need. So just go ahead and grab that. But if you want to connect with me, just add me on Facebook. If for some reason I'm maxed out or whatever, just shoot me a private message so I know you came from here. We'll connect. I'll delete somebody who's not as cool as you. Fair
enough. And I will be dropping links into this post after the fact as well. If anybody has any questions or wants that link specifically and you want me to message you, drop a comment and I'll make sure to get you a direct link and whatnot as well. But and guys, just so that you know, I don't know if you know this, but just the nature of content, the way that it goes, even though this thing we're going on just a little bit over an hour now. In an hour, you can only cover maybe what takes you like 15 minutes to read in something like what Carlos has got in his book. Okay, so if you thought this content was good, if you want something that's going to take you step by step through it, and I'm sure reveal all the details and go through that, definitely check out his book. I know, having written books myself, having put together courses, it's just a completely different beast when you go through and actually get this content out of something like a book. The person who writes it.
You probably can't even see it, but I've got formulas here, like pages of formulas you can just is like ethically steal and just plug and play into your Facebook ads. You don't even have to be creative.
Nice. So if you guys want to make more money, if you want to write ads that are going to get you more leads and you want it to be easy, I think what you need to do is you need to get Carlos's book. So go ahead and get that book. I'll be dropping the link into the post. If anybody wants it and is interested, and I haven't dropped the link yet, drop a comment below this video, and we'll be sure to reach out to you, let you know how you can get it. Connect with Carlos on his Facebook page. Again, he's eating his own dog food. He likes to build his friendships and relationships on Facebook the same way as he's advising you guys. So anyway, thanks again so much for coming on, Carlos. This has been fantastic. Some great.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, you got it, man. And hey, one of the other things that I always like to ask, who do you know who you think might be a good fit for this? Is there who do you know that might be a good fit to come on and talk to the real estate world, drop some value, and get in front of this audience? Who's that?
He's one of my clients, Ryan Stuman.
Okay, cool. Yeah, after this, I'll reach out to you, and if you wouldn't mind making the connection for me, I'd love to bring him on and learn more about how he can benefit the real estate world too.
Sweet, man, you got it.
Awesome. Thanks again, Carlos. I'm going to go ahead and kick you off for now, and then I will be wrapping things up. And yep, get the copywriting playbook before time is run out. Yeah. Order now, or the price goes up $30 million. Carlos, what's your most important idea in the book? Hey, do you have a quick second to answer that?
Carlos, what's your most important idea in the book? Idea? Well, it's not so much about ideas. I'm actually laying out formulas. So if you haven't gotten it, you'll notice that I essentially lay out what copy is and all the basics of it. And then I include a bunch of templates and different structures that you can copy and paste essentially. So the biggest idea would be, the biggest benefit would be all of those copy and paste templates. Okay, cool. So it's going to be akin to like a recipe book, right? Where you can just take it and pull it and steal from it, right? So awesome. Exactly. Okay, and then we got another question that's worthwhile, a really quick one to answer. Is it available electronically? Eric asked. No, it's not. It's not. I know it'll get more sales, but I sold a few thousand. I'm not really looking at you. Obviously, don't get rich off these. I want the people who read them to have it on their bookshelf. Right. And this isn't for money. This is for people who want to freaking have it on their desk and can actually. Right. So I know digital will sell more. I know you would probably use it, but it's just a selfish thing. Get the book, man. Hold it in your hand. Hold it in your hand. Take it. You know? Awesome. Fantastic. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go. Thanks again so much for coming on. Great content. Great having you on here. And we will definitely be in touch. I'll be talking to you more. I appreciate it, guys. Take care. Bye. All right, guys, and as we're wrapping up, as we're closing out here, if you haven't already, one of the things that you want to make sure to do, you want to get the free gift that I have available for you called Ultimate Lead Machine. Now, I have learned that real estate agents, one of the things that they consistently struggle with is they struggle with what to do after you've generated a lead. And so I put together this free course for you. It's called Ultimate Lead Machine. It teaches you exactly what that follow-up process looks like. It's completely free. All you got to do is drop a comment below that says lead tips, and my team will reach out to you and let you know exactly how you can get access to that free course. So again, that's lead tips in the comments. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you can send a text message with the message lead tips to 444-999. That's lead tips, all one word, LEADTIPS to 444-999. Thanks so much, guys. We've got some great content lined up. I've got some more people coming on next week. We do these generally Monday through Friday. Every once in a while, we miss a day. But 2 p.m. Pacific is when we're doing these. If you want to make sure
that you know when we're going live. If you want to make sure that you know when the next one is coming up, the other thing that you can do is you can actually drop a comment below this as well that says notify, and my team will put you on our notification list where we will let you know when these are coming up and all that kind of stuff. So that's on the Real Estate Growth Hackers page. If you comment notify, my team will show you how you can get set up to be on our notification list. So thanks so much. I really enjoyed having Carlos on. That was some great content. I hope you guys like that. Make sure to like this, share it, comment, let us know that you enjoyed the content. Let Carlos know that you enjoyed it. Be sure to connect with him, check out his book, all that kind of stuff. Really appreciate you guys coming on, watching, and engaging with us live. It's wonderful to be able to bring back this value to you guys, and it really makes it so much more fun for us as you come on live and interact with us. So anyway, thanks so much, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Growth Hacker Show. Remember, done is better than perfect. To turn the marketing ideas and tactics you just learned into real growth for your real estate business, visit us at realestategrowthhackers.com. If you like this episode, consider sharing it with another real estate professional who could benefit from the information, or maybe you'd like to subscribe to the show to never miss an episode. You can leave a rating or review on iTunes with your biggest takeaway, helping this show to reach and help more people just like you. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next episode.